Hi, I'm Erin. I moved to Hawaii about 3.5 years ago, and we met Uncle George about 2 years ago. I live on Maili Point, and we'd come out to Poke Bay to paddle and swim and surf. And we had bought our board and come out to the bay only a few times with it when we met Uncle George. We had been trying to paddle along the rock wall and look at the fish, and we're just hanging out. It was a nice sunny day, and we were too heavy for the board, so we put I put my husband and my daughter on the board, and I came back to the beach to hang out and watch them. And Uncle George came up, and he was with his wife, and he said, "Do you want to borrow one of our boards?" And I was a little hesitant because I thought, I don't want to damage this board. I've only been out a few times, but he was, so trusting. And I checked the board and went out, and it was a great experience for the three of us to be able to be out there and share and bond on the water and look at the fish. And when we came in, I gave the board back, and I told George too that my husband had been gone for 7 months to Iraq, and we hadn't seen him. Intermittent Skype calls, sure, but it was his R&R to come back and be with us, and he was actually leaving 2 days later back to Iraq. So that was a special time for us. We kept in touch with George via Facebook, and then he made the Facebook Bay of Dreams page, and we've been coming ever since. And now my daughter's almost 8, and she gets out on the board herself now. George has just given her the skills to get out and paddle as well. So we all really love it and really appreciate having George and Bay of Dreams in our lives, and Connie and Sam too.
Okay. Well, I'm Leanne Erickson, and I moved here about a year and a half ago, just kind of on a whim. And I actually met Uncle George off of Craigslist. I posted that I wanted to learn how to do surf, so I put an ad out. I'm an esthetician and massage therapist, and that I wanted to trade. And so Uncle George actually answered my ad, and he said that he would teach me SUP instead. He wasn't a surfer, he didn't have that ability, but he would teach me if I wanted to come down to Poke Bay and learn how to stand-up paddle. I was like, sure. I'm from Wisconsin. Really had no idea what stand-up paddle was, but why not? So I came down, met Uncle George. He kind of took me out to the bay, taught me a few things here and there, and had a really great time. Really great interaction with somebody who I really have known nobody here. At the time I was dating somebody, so I had one kind of other significant friend, but Uncle George was kind of like that uncle figure from the get-go. Like, I'm here if you need me, big hugs, and that was it. And I kind of had left, and he reached out to me later for the trade, and his trade was that he didn't want to have the services himself. He wanted his wife to come in. So he's like, no big deal, I'm not coming in, I'm not getting rubbed down, no lotion. I want my wife, Connie, to treat herself and come in. So that was a trade. He teaches me SUP, I take care of his wife. So Connie came in, we had a great day, and it's kind of developed after that. I came back for my second lesson, and Uncle George and I paddled out, and we had, I guess it could be, one of those moments between a father and a daughter, or an uncle and a niece, but it was family. I really had connected with Connie on a female level and a technician level, where she really is a mom who never takes care of herself, and we really hit it off, and she got a nice day of relaxation and pampering for her. So me taking care of Connie, Uncle George takes care of me. So he's always here to support me, and he said anytime I need him, he's a phone call away, and that was huge for me. My family is close, but they all live on the Midwest. So for me to know that there's a family member, an uncle, in Waianae that's here for me on the island was tears, for sure. It was a great experience, and he's family. So now I always send people down here. My family's coming in February for the first time, so they'll meet my Hawaiian family when they come. So it's been an amazing journey for sure. So that's our story.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Chris. I'm from the west side of Oahu. I've been stand-up paddling now for about a year, but I've actually been surfing now for about 35 years. I first started off on a boogie board, started standing up, and progressed my way all up to a longboard. Last year, July, is when I first met George, and he introduced me to the stand-up paddle. I've been hooked ever since. I'm actually into big waves. I like surfing big waves. Stand-up paddling has opened up a whole new world for me. I actually own about 4 boards now, surfing places I never even thought I could surf before. I'm paddling farther, faster, catching bigger waves. I'm actually enjoying myself a lot more. The best part about stand-up paddling is my wife got involved into it. My wife is not a beach person. She never was a beach person. She learned how to stand-up paddle the same time I did. She's not catching any waves yet. She's working on it slowly. She's to the point now where she actually bought her own board. We now go to the beach on the weekends, sometimes during the weekdays, as a family. And it's something that we can share as a family now. So now if I decide if I wanted to go surf on the weekends, I basically have to sneak out of the house. Because if I don't open the door quietly, the kids will wake up, the wife will wake up, and everybody wants to go surfing now. I just want to thank George. George opened up a whole new world, not just for me, but for my whole family. I'm actually spending a lot more quality time with the family. We're actually enjoying it a lot more.
Hi, my name is Angela Sandoval, and I live out in Makaha, Hawaii, and I always loved the beach. It was something that I always did and grew up with, and paddleboard was something that I always wanted to learn. And I found out that George was here at the beach at Makai Bay, and he was giving free lessons. So I decided to come out one day, learn how to paddleboard, and with George, I was able to learn the sport and figure out what side board I wanted. So I would come out and use his boards until I bought my board. Well, about 5 months after I learned how to paddle, I have a son that has it's called Dandy Walker, and besides that, he has multiple medical conditions. And last October, he ended up in the hospital with a really, really bad lung infection. And present time, he doesn't live on any kind of support besides his wheelchair and tube feeding. While his lungs were so infected in October that we were told that he may have to live the rest of his life on the CPAP machine. And of course, nobody wants their child to live that way. And I was at the hospital for about 2 weeks, and then I needed some time away. And fortunately, George was there at the beach that day. I decided to leave the hospital and come out to Makaha to just ease my mind a little bit. So I was able to get on the water, paddleboard, and just think about the things that I needed to think about. And then, with the help of George and learning the sport, being on the water, I was able to accept the possibility of my son coming home, living on that machine for the rest of his life. So I was able to build up some strength, put myself together, and went back to the hospital. And then along with meeting George and paddleboard, I was able to join the prayer team that he has. So I had just prayed, hopefully that maybe my son could come home without being on that machine, and till today, he's not on the machine. He shocked the doctors. We were able to get back to our normal life. So right now, he is back in his wheelchair. He's able to go back to school without being stuck on that machine 24/7. And I believe that with the help of George, his blessings, the people that I met, and being able to get on the water and be able to talk to God and just say, whatever happens, I'm able to take. So with the strength of being on the water, clearing my mind, I was able to accept. But with the good grace of God, he's not on the machine.